If LinkedIn is like an MSP goldmine, is there a risk you could overmine it? It's a valid concern. So many MSPs are worried about this. When you're looking for new clients and you know that you've got access to a gleaming, rich source of them, whether that's on LinkedIn or even in your email list, is there a risk you could annoy them by trying to mine them too often, by flooding them with content and messages? Let's dig into the suggested rules about the frequency of posting content, how to do it in a way that you feel comfortable with, and the big opportunity for MSPs that are mining for new clients in 2025. I'm sure that as a technology expert, you hear the same questions all the time from your clients. In fact, could you list the top 3 things that people are most likely to ask you? Well, this is my experience as well. And almost every single day of the week, I'm talking to a new MSP from somewhere. It could just be a chat on LinkedIn, or maybe I'm doing a webinar and answering a question or whatever. And over the years, I've noticed that the questions I get asked are often very similar. People ask, like, is LinkedIn still valid? They ask about their websites. They ask about whether or not they should be hiring marketing agencies and salespeople. One of the most common questions that I get is about content. How should content be posted? And at what point does your content become overwhelming? Actually, the way that question is normally asked to me is by someone saying that they don't want to send out more than 1 email a month or post no more than once a week on LinkedIn because they're scared that people will get sick of their content and sick of seeing stuff from them. Well, let me tell you the answer that I always give them. I believe, as an MSP, you can almost never post too much content. It just couldn't happen because marketing is not your superpower. And to a certain extent, it's a bit of a distress activity for you, right? So you're never going to do as much marketing as, for example, I might do. You're simply not going to tackle it with the level of aggression that's ultimately going to frustrate the people that content is aimed at. The cadence that I suggest for most MSPs when it comes to posting content is to post on social media daily, send an educational email weekly, and send something in the post, so ship it to them in the mail no more than once a month. That's a great cadence, and it's not too much at all. Let me explain why. You might look at all of that and think, well, Paul, that's an overwhelming amount of content to send out. Never mind the fact that you've got to originate it all in the first place. It's just a huge amount of overwhelm, right, for someone who has to consume all of that content. But here's the reality. The only person on the whole planet who's consuming all of the content that you create is you and your marketing team. The people that you are targeting, they're only seeing and perceiving a tiny proportion of it. So if you take, for example, posting social media content every day, the vast majority of your connections and followers are simply not going to see it every day. They might see 1, maybe 2 things a week. If you look at educational emails, you can assume that the average person only opens 1 in 4 of your emails. So by sending them an email once a week, they're actually reading one of your emails once a month. So therefore, if you only send them an email once a month, they're only seeing one of your emails every 4 months, which is just not enough. Do you see where I'm going with this? Your lack of marketing aggression and the fact that people simply do not consume everything that you send out means that you have to send out more content more often, as this is the best way to get in front of people. They are doing the filtering for you. Remember, the whole goal with your marketing is to get the right message in front of the right person at the right time. And a good cadence, like I've just suggested there, will make it dramatically easier for you to do that.
Paul Green's MSP Marketing Edge.